with that, we are actually we're live now.
Okay,
That was my fault. Well, actually,
that's
no.
fine.
We're gonna
It's
blame
usually mine.
Apple. It wasn't my fault.
Oh,
Apple decided to reboot the laptop, and I don't know what it's done.
I
Nothing
learnt
seems
something
better.
the other day about Apple, you know.
Go on.
You can ruin a film by noticing who's using Apple products in a TV show in the film because you're allowed to use them for free and show the logo for free and not have to pay or get any form of say so on it or okay by the Apple people. Obviously not by Steve Jobs anyway, he's long gone, but by the actual company, so long as it's a good guy that's using it. Villains can never use it. So
Yeah,
if you think a
that
film's going
makes a
to
lot of
have a
sense.
twist in it, then you can't have that on show.
That does make a lot of sense. Like they love their shit being and who wants to be the villain?
I do. I'd love to be a villain
That's well,
in a
I
film and
suppose.
not me. That's the fucking person to play. I'd love that. If there's
No,
anyone
no, no,
listening
no,
who's making a shit
no.
film
I don't
about,
mean that. I don't mean
oh,
that. I love you playing the villain's fantastic. I mean, like, who would want their product to be sponsored, but like to be sponsoring the villain?
I wouldn't mind.
No, like, well, I know you wouldn't, but let's just say they're bringing out the fucking the next Marvel film. Whoever the
Yeah.
fucking evil cunt is, that they're not going to go right. What we really need for this scene is we need
Oh, I
some
get what you mean.
baby
Yeah.
chicks' heads with little plastic feet that are on springs and they can jump around. That's what we need. What we'll do is we'll advertise World Around You. And no
In
offense,
it because they've got CGI in it and
it,
that's all.
this is true, and they'd much rather spend a fortune on creating that digitally than even talking to you about just getting a real one. Um, but
Very early on in my taxidermy, I had a guy get in touch who was making a film about a haunted dead cat, and he asked me if I would stuff a cat for him for use in his film for Sundance Festival and things like that. I
did you
said
do it?
yeah, and I said yeah, and I tried to get a dead cat. I rang all the pets homes and cats homes in the local within like a 10 mile radius, and they all thought I was taking the piss. And one of them accused me of being mental. Another woman, she hung up on me 2 or 3 times. I kept ringing her back, and she was getting more and more irate, and I was as well because she wouldn't listen to me and take me seriously. And I was offering them money for it as well, Jimmy. I wasn't just trying to,
You were trying to
get
pay
a get
them.
a dead cat off them. Well, as you know, I thought I'd give them a donation so that they can look after the ones that are alive. Well, they weren't having it. They thought I was a prank phone
Well, no,
call.
that's that
I
doesn't
think
what
it's
that
better to do it in person.
I think what that encourages them to do is not keep the others alive, but it's like, here, we can make a profit here killing cats.
But why not?
Let's
You
just
know,
start rounding them up. Um,
people only want the kittens anyway. Who's going there for an old cat? Let's turn the old cat into things.
let's
It could live on
repurpose,
forever in a film.
give it a new life. Yeah, it can.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
can.
A tenth.
People. Yes. They're not gonna pick you though, are they? What sort of brands are gonna want to be like? Right, we want to sponsor the villain.
Mm.
That's a question. I'm
Oh
not.
right, I thought it
I'm
was
not.
a, I thought
That
it was a
wasn't like a.
rhetorical one. I thought you were
No,
trying
no,
to
no.
make a point.
Genuine. Like
Because
which
you made
sort
a
of.
point by saying it.
I'm just insightful, just by chance, mate. It's just how it is.
Oh, fair.
Um,
Luke.
everyone wants to be. I don't know who just admits that they're a cunt. Like Weatherspoons, they just know. Ryanair, they know. They're just like EasyJet. Like literally, you will pay for everything. You will pay for every part of your experience with EasyJet. They will overcharge you every way possible. You will not be able to get compensation when you should be entitled to it. I reckon they'd quite happily sponsor the villain. Bane. Imagine Bane in the Batman films with just nice orange logo on instead on his little mask thing, little EasyJet logo on.
I mean, it'd be good because the film starts in a plane, doesn't it? So you've got that. But I was thinking something like Stanley. You could have like because you could green screen it into loads of films like fucking Halloween. Fucking the knife. Put a little Stanley logo on there. Fucking Jason films. Friday the 13th. The axe could have a little fucking on the butt
Yeah.
of it. You only see it in like for a split second in one scene, and it just says Stanley on the bottom, and it's something there for the nerds to pause and be like, "Rah, that's mad that they'd even allow this."
What about in? Is it? It's not Green Street. It's one of those films where they give someone a Chelsea grin and they slice them. I don't know if they do it with a credit card or not, but like then just so you could have little film buffs going. You see that? See that? No, not the bit where his cheeks are torn apart. No, not that. But you see that? That's a fucking Barclays card. That is. That's a fucking
Imagine that.
Barclays card.
It's American Express, isn't it?
um,
Is that a Cook's card? He must be well off him.
it's
Bring
a black.
it
It's
into
a
the
black one.
forefront.
There's no limit on that. There's no limit on that at all.
But you can see there's no limit. Straight through the cheek flesh.
All the way up to just to his sideburns. It's
Oh.
He's indistinguishable anymore. He's got two smiles. It's beautiful. This week's topics.
Well.
Go on.
A good way to
Go on.
get into there.
Dig your
Jurassic
way out of this
Park,
one.
mate. A little T-Rex, mate, with a little tool belt on. And just add that in. And then if when that sponsorship ends, say the companies start paying, oh, we'll pay fucking, I don't know, a certain amount of money, whatever's deemed a big amount of money in films to advertise. Probably millions, I would imagine, rather than thousands. But they're like, right, we got this little bit here that we can change, like what
Right.
we've been seeing at the minute on football games and that, where they get different adverts per different channel and that. So what if you get your little tool belt initially on the original Jurassic Park? He's got a little tool belt on with all of his fucking handyman tools, the T-Rex, as he's chasing the car towards the toilet. But then when in more modern day, they've got a little fucking either a VR headset or something on the T-Rex, or maybe just some gaming headphones or something, and people will be like, "Oh yeah, look at that! I forgot I was gonna buy some of them." Or targeted advertising in
Targeted.
films, mate. That would be fucking incredible. I was thinking today that I'd really like to, if I was ever able to make a film, I'd want to do like fucking 8 or 9 director's cuts of it and then put them all out at once and not tell anyone. So that when mates talk to each other or family members talk to each other about a film, they've both seen pretty much completely different films, and you could just break apart families from a distance, make them believe that they're liars and not. You just completely made it up or they fell asleep,
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of work. You fork. I don't know if you're going to recoup your losses in that one. If you're hiring like
It'd be a labour of love.
if it like The Room, it's just got to be finished and got to be out there. It's not going to make anything. I just want it to be done. Yeah, I think that's. I'm with you. How much do we need?
I've got no idea. I don't know what
surely
I've made a 3-minute cartoon and it took me 3 weeks.
Well, surely from the amount of businesses we've set up after every episode of this
Especially
radio
this one
show.
here.
Yeah, exack,ly. Like
We've actually advertised.
we've got to be making. There's got to be money in the bank. What I'm saying is, let's Bell Scorsese. Let's get Cameron on the blower. Tarantino, he's gonna he's gonna throw us in a fucking weird one. We'll get M Night Shyamalan. Baby, give it up, baby, give it up. We'll get him in on it. Who else?
A porn director.
Oh, mate, that's exactly what I was
I
trying to
don't know any names.
That's-
of them. I've never lasted to the credits, but there must be some that'd be up for it, just to sort of expand on what they do.
Mate, nowadays, like the parody porn scene, like it's huge. There's millions of pounds millions of dollars going to that. Like, we definitely
I've always wondered why there no sex scenes in films either, like proper penetrative sex scenes.
There are,
because
in some.
why not? But not where you see it like it's just porn in a film.
Well, no,
Why
but
not have that? Why does it have to be all this weird sort of angles? Why can't it be like Team America but with people?
because that's exactly why Team America got away with it, because it wasn't people. Like a majority of people don't really want to see that.
It's just, I think it'd be good though.
It's too
Not
separate.
like in a way to like so you can crack one out in a cinema. I just think it'd be funny to be able to sit in a room with a load of people again and just be like, look at what she's doing there. Hey,
The thing
fucking
is,
hell,
right,
we're gonna go.
most of your decisions and most of your suggestions are based on the fact that you just want to make situations with people awkward.
I want to make people feel around other people like how I feel around other people.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I get that now.
Yeah. You will see the world how I see the world, and I'm going to force you to see the world how I see the world.
Via the medium of a film that somehow involves both dinosaurs and full-blown penetrative sex, cut by 9 different directors.
Before they get swallowed by the T-Rex. But then each director could have a different dinosaur, focus on a different dinosaur, different positions in front of the dinosaur. Because it would seem, you wouldn't want to go too far in front of something like a Triceratops, would you? Because
No.
Triceratops is sort of low on the pecking order. It's herbivore.
However, mate, that brings us on to actually my first point of knowledge that you're going to get during this episode. Do you know what? Like, I've done shit this time.
Oh.
Chode is going to have to step the fuck back on this one, because I've got points. Triceratops, apparently, it looks nothing like we think it looks like, or looked like. It's one of many dinosaurs that we like. It sort of proves what we've talked about previously. Like, it's one of those things that as we've learned more about the dinosaur, we've learned that like it was sort of put together with an image in mind at the time, and it's really nothing like that, or it's changed. Our image of it has changed drastically from our first sort of models of Triceratops. There's quite
I think they were also the most recent dinosaur as well, classed as a dinosaur, as a species, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that bit. Look at that.
The last one.
Fucking facts, mate. This is an educational, entrepreneurial podcast. The other ones, another big popular one, Brontosaurus is meant to, if what I think what I watched is to be correct, it was a paleontologist. That's just like a younger version of what that dinosaur grew into, which I don't know if it was a Protosaurus or Portosaurus, something like that, Patasaurus, something like that, something bigger, much bigger. And we sort of had it as two different species, or had it as two different like species at the time, but like it's not. It's sort of the teenage iteration of it.
That's mad because they're massive and all.
Yeah, mate, they are massive. There was also some like there's a lot, but I don't want to just sit here bringing facts. I want to.
Well, we can bring some facts and then dispute them. So the Brontosaurus, that's you're putting your neck on the line by saying that's even a dinosaur there, because that sort of is a dinosaur for a bit, then isn't a dinosaur, then it didn't exist for quite a while, and paleontologists all around the world agreed it's not real, but then they all suddenly started to believe again that it was real.
Well, the believing it wasn't real bit, I believe, came from the fact that there was like, they then learnt that it was just the younger iteration of something else. Version.
Imagine how big its egg must have been then.
Large. Like, canny big.
It's going to be, innit? It's not going to lay like little fish eggs.
You can see
That'd
those
be incredible though if it did.
Yeah, it really would be.
And the other one's there just jacking off onto the eggs.
It's just raw, just loads of raw.
It just works like a fish.
All the other
That's why they've got the long necks as well, so they can just fillet themselves onto the eggs.
Obviously, they're actually asexual.
Yeah,
they're actually, and they've got
that's
all
where
the other dinosaurs.
Gets it from.
All the fucking. I mean, we're making leaps and bounds already. This is tremendous. People better be writing this down. But all the other dinosaurs are there shagging normally, looking over at the Brontosaurus.
Yeah, he's not going to last long in.
Fucking Jeff's fucked, you know. Like, Jeff is fucked. Jeff's always on some crazy shit. Like, Jesus.
He always eats the top of them trees. None of us eat the tops of the trees.
Look what it makes you do.
Must be something up there, you know. Like, look what happened to them fucking monkeys that were eating that. They've all started fucking making them weird noises and throwing sticks.
Are we suggesting they were about at the same time?
Well, that's, you know, if you're gonna believe Hanna-Barbera, which I am inclined to do.
I mean, yeah. I would never second guess using a I don't know what the fuck the dinosaur was, but it used as a shower.
I don't know. I can't remember exactly like the scenes, scene by blow of fucking the shower scenes in the Flintstones.
Mate, I can remember all the shower scenes in the Flintstones. That's the only parts of the Flintstones I can remember. Do you know what I mean? Those were the best bits. That bit, and then when they slid down the dinosaur's, I'm not going to say, neck, in order to like jump off. I don't know if it was after work.
Yeah, when they pulled the horn.
Yeah, they pulled the horn, and then boom, and then shower scene. Saucy Fred getting up to it.
Keeping nothing on but his loincloth.
No, he's not got the lot. He's twisting like how you would dry out a towel, wringing out a towel. That's what he's doing with his loincloth in most of the shower scenes that I watch on repeat at home at night.
Oh, fair. They're from the live action one.
No, it's the cartoon one.
Oh.
Dinosaurs. How were they killed off?
Oh, that's a fucking brilliant question, right? In my personal beliefs from my readings, right?
Fantastic.
And going off more than just Eric DeBay, right?
Right.
Everyone should know who Eric DeBay. Go
I
on,
am
pull the face, guys.
We're gonna come back.
He won't be happy with this one.
We're gonna come back to him.
Favorite website in the world, so now he's got a good insight into my mind.
No, we're gonna come back to Eric DeBay because he came up. I wasn't even looking into him. I was looking at a paleontologist who was happened to be picking apart. He was picking apart just a video from someone, and that video turned out to be from Eric DeBay. And this paleontologist, like, who seemed like a pretty cool guy, wasn't like the geography teacher looking bastard, like old. But you know the paleontologist image you've got in your head. Like, he had a Church of the Spaghetti Monster, like hockey. It was on Joe Rogan, actually.
Oh, I've
Trevor
seen
Pallet.
that a couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah.
He kicks off, doesn't he? Because Joe asks him if they're real or not.
Yeah, he gets extremely angry.
Well,
like,
I have an argument for that as well, but
we'll come back to all that.
Yeah.
Carry on where you were going.
Right. So people say asteroid, and climate change, and the ash that came up from volcanoes that blocked out the sun for at least 2 years and killed most things off. And I think it's a mixture of a lot of those things. I think what actually happened. So about 50 million years ago, towards the end of the dinosaurs, we're told that they died out 64 million years ago, but that's realistically when they started to die out. It took a long time for them to die out. So around 50 to 60 million years ago was when the last volcanic eruption happened on Mars. Now, a lot of people seem to believe that at some point, around 60 million years ago, there was an intergalactic nuclear war where Mars fired a missile at Earth, and that's where we get the moon from, because the moon is a big chunk of Earth that was exploded from a massive fuck-off rocket, or whatever it would be. Maybe it's not a rocket. Rockets are probably a very primitive way of attacking through the air, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because we've only just made them in the past 50 years, so there's got to be something better. Like those really long, starting with a hair thickness spears, getting thicker and thicker, like we spoke about weeks ago. They'd be a brilliant idea if anyone's into fucking China to take over the world. But entrepreneurial. The biggest business there is. Fair.
Yeah, mate, it's never out of stock. Like, you're never lacking customers.
You'd be fine with that. It'd be, you could even, if you could make it so it's on a reel as well, it'd be amazing. You just sort of fucking fire it off and then draw it back like a harpoon. Man. But anyway, getting sidetracked, that's not really factual. So I think that what happened is they launched a missile from Mars in order to attack here. Either that or they launched the moon from Mars via what we're told by so-called scientists was a volcano. But a volcano, if it was big enough, would be a really fucking good way to launch a moon into the sky, if you think about it. Like a cannon. It'd just be a big fuck-off cannon. Now, if they launched that moon and it was full of, let's say, dinosaurs or a virus or some creatures that could come here and terraform the planet, for something much later on and change the chemical makeup of the Earth, or even fire a nuclear weapon at the Earth to terraform it so that they could come and colonize it. Because a lot of people believe that we came from Mars. I think it's 10 million years ago or so, apparently. And Elon Musk came out a couple months ago, in I think the end of 2018 or mid 2019 ish, saying that one of the best ways to terraform a planet, if you wanted to do it reasonably quickly, would be to fucking pound it with nuclear missiles. Now we'd have to do missiles, but I would hazard a guess that Martians 50 million years ago would only have to fire one big fuck off cannonball full of monsters.
Yeah. Well, I'm not good. My point, my suggestion, sort of ties in with that. Funnily enough.
Awesome.
Because I was watching
It's
a
nice
video.
to see you've been reading for a change.
Yeah. Oh, I've been reading up. That's it's a little bit related with volcanoes and monsters, right?
Okay.
Because I was watching a video on the top 10 theories of what could have possibly happened to dinosaurs, and one of that was the mass eruption of volcanoes and what's called the Deccan Plain or the Deccan Plan. Deccan, yeah, Deccan, and it's just a bit like a load of volcanoes that people believe, or people did believe, all went off around the same time and wiped out like our planet. So it wasn't this suggestion, I'm not ruling yours out by any means. It's credible.
We can build on both, but carry on.
We can. Well,
And I will.
Well, there's a certain faith that bases a lot of its background on volcanoes and the infestation of these volcanoes with evil spirits and negative.
Those that shan't be named.
Scientology.
Because we're getting bigger. We're getting bigger now, so we need to be careful. You know,
got to be careful. You don't want
we're
those
in double digits of listeners.
You don't want those cease and desist letters coming through the door. Yeah, Scientology. So, did Xenu, like casting all the evil spirits into volcanoes, cause a mass eruption of the volcanoes, which then wiped out dinosaurs, which may have been their plan, because they're like, look, dinosaurs, their intentions are too pure. You can't see it. You can't get them through auditing. T-Rex arms not going to reach those little things they've got to hold on to do the auditing. Like, there's many problems. So dinosaurs, they're not the ideal test subject for Scientology. So,
fucking good weapon though.
Fantastic weapon, which is a sidetrack to another point that I've got. Have you ever seen the film Kung Fury?
No.
Fantastic film. So. If I don't know if it's still on Netflix.
It's not
possibly.
The ping pong one, is it?
No, Kung Fury. I think it's only about 45 minutes long. It's a film. Is he Swedish? Might be Swedish. He's somewhere Scandinavian. It's one of the funniest films of all time. It's got possibly my favourite 15-second clip scene of all time. Basically, like in this film, it's all done by one bloke pretty much. He had one police uniform, and there's a scene where it's a police station, so he filmed himself about 20-30 times in different parts and dotted himself around the police station to create the scene that there was other police in the police station. Like, it's that level of Hitler's in it. There's a lot of time travelling in it, which brings us to this part, and he time travels, he doesn't know where he is, and he's like, bunch of people come up on the back of velociraptors with lasers in their eyes and they look like Vikings. He's like, where am I? He goes, oh, the Viking era. He goes, that explains their laser raptors. And that's the scene. It's like, that's the best scene in film history, and it's just not questioned or anything. It's a tiny bit, but it's fucking fantastic. So yeah, they would make great weapons if you ride a horse, you can ride a raptor. Now raptors don't even look like
a raptor. You can ride a T-Rex.
You can ride a T-Rex. If you can ride a T-Rex, you can ride
a Mark II helicopter.
Yeah, if you can ride a Mark II helicopter, you'll be part of the British Army, my son. I was born in ancient Mesopotamia, but I was made in the Royal Navy. Nah, fuck them. We are not sponsored by the British Armed Forces, because we actually side with We side with the Russians. We do side with the Russians. There's something about them. There's a charm. There's a bit of
It
charm.
feels a little safer.
Yeah. I mean, they're listening. They're the only ones they're literally the only people who are always listening to Threshold FM, and that is not a lie. I don't know how it's truth, but it's not a lie. There's always one Russian listener, and they're never disconnected. I've always thought it's parallaxed. I'm not sure. I don't if you're using a VPN, but Russia's always listening, so that's why we're pro-Russia. But yeah, I'm with you. But I think that volcanoes, I think it was the start of Scientology, wiping out dinosaurs. They can be like, look, we'll make it safe for man to come about, and then we'll harness man's guilt and fear and crippling anxiety for profit, and we'll sell them. We won't sell them a lie because we've just shot the monsters in the volcanoes to wipe out the dinosaurs. So that bit's sort of real.
Makes sense, and it kind of explains how all of this ground would be above the dead dinosaurs, because it'd be the ash from the volcanoes changing with the stuff in the air. Because I have always wondered, is that why dinosaurs were so big? Because they didn't have as much ground underneath them, so they could grow taller.
Well, there's less of the universe taking up space above them.
Yeah, just less weight above them, if you know what I mean, pushing them down.
Well, there was different
because we could have gravity wrong. I'm not to get into that. That's a show for itself.
No,
gravity could be a pushing down force rather than a pulling down force.
That leads to another theory. Another popular theory, and I don't know if this one was in the 1970s or possibly earlier, was the gravity changes in in Earth. Back then, our gravity was like, it was nowhere. Well, the force on the Earth were nowhere near as strong, and that allowed for dinosaurs to grow larger because there wasn't as much pressure on them, and there weren't as strong forces at play. So it allowed like these beasts to get huge because there was nothing restricted them, and there was nothing that was going to basically cause them to crush in on themselves and that sort of shit. There was one bloke not one bloke. There's one bloke who started a theory that was then bought by many that they grew and grew exponentially until their glands couldn't hack it anymore, or until they were too lazy to feed and couldn't support their own frames, and that was a reason for mass extinction.
That seems to go massively against the idea of evolution as well, doesn't it? Which a lot of the anti-dinosaur stuff does go against. It's very anti-evolution. Any side of the dinosaur coin is usually against evolution.
Yeah, it's almost as if Christians don't want dinosaurs to be real because it fucks up their little book.
Well, because obviously dinosaur bones are actually Nephilim bones that have been whittled down and carved and recast and made into these different monsters.
Yeah, obviously.
That's what's gone on there.
That is obvious.
Now, what is weird is dinosaurs didn't exist in any story or anything until one guy found some in the 1800s. And then another guy he knew dug some others up.
I think that's the very first point. So in this video that Trevor Paley, or whatever he's called, the paleontologist, is watching from Eric Dubai, that is the first point that Eric Dubai makes within 10 seconds. And within 10 seconds, this bloke turns around and goes, "Fuck off." He just absolutely...
It's actually it's near the start of his essay as well.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't call it an essay. I think if you suggested that was an essay to this Trevor Mush, he would slap you, silly.
An essay is anything over 3,000 words. I don't care what it says.
He's straight away, he's like, no, it was at least 100 years before that. He's like, there's proof of it being at least 100 years before that. He raised so many points against him. When Paley... That Trevor even made out points. It was like, look, things have changed over time because our understanding of things have changed over time. There was, when people first found woolly mammoths, or the bones of that and the remains of that, they thought they'd found massive cyclops because that was their understanding. They had no idea there was such thing as a huge fluffy elephant walking about the earth. So they based it on their knowledge at the time, which was probably the look of humans and then folklore. And that's a bit like whatever you would usually do to rationalise something. You're not going to go, oh yeah,
compare it to what you understand, don't you?
Giant fluffy elephant. Side note: Velociraptors were also fluffy.
Yeah, they were had little tiny little feathers, didn't they?
Yeah,
Little fluffy
which makes
hairs.
them so much.
Now,
I'll be honest. I think they've been really. If there's anyone who has suffered at the hands of the pop culture industry and the media industry, I honestly think Velociraptors have had a really bad rap, and they should probably sue. They've definitely got grounds for a lawsuit for all the libel and like defamation of character that they've suffered over the years. I really don't think it's right. You look poised to make a very important point here.
and I'm trying to remember. So, because I always forget because I don't know what to answer the next thing you've said. Where feathers are concerned, I actually listened to a thing on radio from Radio 4, BBC Radio 4 today, and it was real, so-called real, if you like, paleontologists. I don't know if they were. They could have just been pretending to try and further muddy the waters.
Yep.
But they were saying that there was in order to have one of the questions, one of them had the lady. I can't remember her name. Can't remember any of the names. Don't even know who presented the show. But still, one of the questions the lady had was, we know they were feathered because we found the Archaeopteryx, the Archaeoliops, or whatever the fuck it was called, the feathered variety somewhere. But we don't understand because we kind of lost the skin of it there. How they can be scaly and have the skin that allows for feathers with movement because they had feathers with movement. So my question immediately there brought me to the idea of the Hollow Earth, because there's a lot of people that believe that there is some form of the other side of the lizard people controlling the world, blah blah blah, and from a spacecraft, blah blah blah. It's that side, but then there's the other side of this somewhat peaceful seeming lizard race of humanoid that lives underground, and that they can occasionally come up here and they're completely invisible to us, but we can't see them. Now, could that be because they've got some form of proper advanced chameleon trait where their skin can just become completely invisible after millions of years of evolving for it, and because they lived underground and would have no reason at all to be able to see each other? And I would imagine it'd be really useful to be able to see through each other when you're underground, especially if you're moving around like a mole. But I imagine it's like underground cities in Agartha and that. So could they have evolved into humanoids, and the skin carried on evolving, and they lost the need for feathers because they were underground and it's more insulated, but the skin evolved to such a way that it was super evolved, like in the same way that an octopus's skin is evolved in that can camouflage almost instantly.
All right, I get you.
And
I don't see why that's not. The thing is, I don't see why it's not possible because I wouldn't see if it was possible. Because I wouldn't be able to see them, so I can't.
Fucking prove me wrong, scientists. Do you know what I mean? Anyone can do this science stuff.
Whip out your your Hollow Earth reptilian finding fucking graphmoscopes. Get one of those out and prove me wrong.
There's another thing about the way that they measure fossils.
Come on, let's go.
Radiometric testing apparently was a way that they used to age fossils. And they can't use it on the fossils, they have to use it on the stone around it. But supposedly, if, say, like a particularly big hair dies somewhere and gets buried over by whatever reason, big wind or whatever, for a few years, and then you look there and you find the nearest stone to it, you'd be like, oh, this stone here is 40 million years old, and this stone here is 30 million years old, slightly above the rabbit. So this dirt here, this bit of chemical in the dirt must be about that age. So this thing here died 30 odd million years ago around. It must have been some form of proto-mammal, or, the end of a dinosaur creature. Well, 10, 15 million years after the end of dinosaur creatures, but still some other animal. Whereas realistically, it's just a fucking big rabbit that died about 10 years ago. But they would have no way really of distinguishing the two if the soil type is the right soil type to be able to facilitate the soft tissue of the creature being eaten and melted down by detritus species.
It wouldn't be encased in that. It wouldn't be encased in stone, and it would also, like, especially in 10 years, it wouldn't look anything like a fossil. But is this another Eric Dubai point?
I'm not gonna throw names out there.
Not gonna divulge me sources, No,
they're mine and mine alone.
Because is there proof that you can't test the fossil? I mean, I would assume that they wouldn't want to test it for damage to the fossil, but there's nothing to say that you can't take a sample.
But when they transport the fossils, would they not like? I would argue digging them up out of the ground is going to damage them.
Well, no,
Like that's.
it wouldn't. They do it so
I know they
carefully.
take it in a matrix and that still, but
It's
like,
it's so carefully. Like again, this paleontologist, this Trevor Palley, I don't know if it's Palley or Pal, but he was saying when they're handling fossils, like it's in the sort of a vacuum sealed chamber, and they're using a very 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 accurate air gun essentially to just blow very very gentle breeze over like each layer of stone
yeah,
to
but
get.
anyone can buy a fucking precise air gun from a sporting goods shop. It's not a fucking thing to show off over, you know.
No one's saying. I'm not trying, mate. He's not blowing his own trumpet over his fucking air gun. He's saying that like they handle them extremely carefully. Like
We had one that could easily get 80 meters when I was a kid.
that's the opposite. That's the complete opposite of a very precise air gun. That's just a very strong air gun.
So they don't chip away at it kind of thing then.
It's extremely gently though, because he was saying the fossil's more fucking sensitive than the rock around it. So a tiny bit too strong tiny bit too much pressure coming out of that air gun is gonna dissipate your fossil. There you go. There's all your work gone. So it's got to be handled with extreme amounts of care. It was another he got so angry at this Eric Dubai. Like it was.
Well, I have a question though before you get to that. If it's that
Go.
easy to make it fucking turn to dust and disappear, could you not argue that and we're told that it's from so far ago in the past, could it not be something that's somehow out of place from the future? And then by touching it, you'd fucking, in the same way with the fucking, the lads that were fucking stuck in a boat when they tried to make that boat invisible. The Philadelphia experiment.
Yeah, the Philadelphia. Yeah.
And they turned catatonic supposedly, but when you would touch them, they'd start talking again, and then when you'd let go of them, they couldn't move or talk again. And then some of them, when you'd touch them, they'd set on fire. Other ones would just fucking melt. Other ones would just die.
I want to talk about this in a future. Like I want to talk about this in a future episode because that's that's an interesting one. Philadelphia experiment. I want to do there's a couple along those lines. If possible. I mean, I'm not going to rule it out because I'm not a paleontologist or a futurologist. I couldn't tell you if that's like if as soon as you touch it, it's a portal to somewhere else, and it goes, "Nah, you're not ready to learn this knowledge," and it just fucks off. Possibly, but our existing knowledge would suggest that that's not the case, mate. But it's
but fucking 4 years ago, we believed the world was round.
I mean, yeah, what fools we were. We believed the Earth was round, and we believed that the stripes in the sky left by planes were just condensation and steam and just fucking clouds, basically. What idiots.
Yeah. Isn't it? Morons, mate. We don't know anything. How little we know.
Also, to come to a point that you've made previously in a previous episode of this, actually, no, it's not. It was on your own show.
Oh, lovely.
So I don't want to ruin pause for thought, but it's full of lies and deceit.
No, don't be saying that, innit? That's slander, right? Yeah.
When you said they've never found a complete skeleton of a dinosaur.
It's according to my sources.
Yeah, Eric Dubai. 98% sue the T-Rex in the National Field Museum in America. 98% accurate.
Still
T-Rex.
not a complete. 98% isn't 100, is it? It's not complete.
You are completely right. It's 2% off. 2% of what could be sort of collective, like tiny bones, things like that. But there's a 98% accurate Tyrannosaurus Rex, including features that have like unknown elements that had never been found on any other examples of T-Rex they found previously.
Because it's been made up, mate. All of dinosaurs is a scam, and then the people that get into it, they know it's a scam, and they're like, right, fuck it, I want to be able to sell a few 100,000 books, so I'm going to say that I've found this fucking, like, you've got sauropods, theropods, and whatever the other one is. Oh, now we've got fucking quextapods, and these are the winged variety with a fucking poisonous tail. That's where scorpions get it from.
I'm
And then
glad you.
everyone involved in paleontology's got to go, yeah, spot on, mate, spot on, yeah, because if I say you can't have that, you're going to say that I can't have the T-Rex, and we make a lot of money off the T-Rex, so yeah, you can have your fucking weird scorpion creatures, of course.
They, but they don't all buy into it. That's why there's so many different theories. And
Yeah, but it could be just like as we always bring up, mate, like a fucking multi-level marketing thing. They have to buy in at the bottom. They have to pay to go on the trips, to go on the excavation trips to these places in China, in fucking Liaoning province in China, where farmers are just fucking scooping them out the ground. And then they go there, they find, look at these we found. Ignore the big fucking flag on the factory behind that's got a fucking T-Rex's head and dollar signs in the eyes. Ignore, well, fucking Hong Kong dollar signs in its eyes. Ignore them. Fucking, it's not coming out of there. And ignore the guy over there with the spade that's filling in the holes. Just look that way, go over there, dig up over there. We reckon, see where the dirt's slightly lighter. Yeah, shove your spade in there, mate.
you fully bought into his school of thought, haven't you? An Eric Dubai follower. It's complete. There have been areas where they found a shitload of bones, and that's just been there's areas where there's been large amounts of bones. But this bloke, I've watched part of the video, and like this Eric Dubai's like they never find, but no one ever just finds bones. It's always paleontologists who find them. It's never anyone normal who finds them. This Trevor Pallier is like, my job is literally to go to building sites to investigate fossils that builders have found and like other people have found. It's like that's part of my job. Is like I'm like whatever response, and I have to go to these places when normal people find them. It's like farmers find them all the time. It's like I found a whale in LA a couple of weeks before this podcast. It's like he's so adamant that this Eric Dubai is like they're always found like experts, and they're always found in places that experts have just been. He's like, no. They're found in places where we've gone to because we're told there's going to be a massive hit there. We've got there and it's been an absolute gold mine. Like he reverse engineers like anything that actually happens, which is fair play. He fucking makes a lot of money doing it, and he makes a lot of flat Earth as well, which is his usual topic. He fucking loves a bit of flat Earth, but he's gone right. I need to branch out. Look, flat Earth's doing well, but it's teetering off a bit, which shouldn't teeter off because it's a flat plane, but it's teetering off a bit. So what can we do? Well, I'll tell you what, I'll get into a new market. What's another market that's going to buy into it? What can I tie together? Right, fuck it, dinosaurs, they're not real.
You could still have that with flat Earth as well because it's just underneath.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, did you know? 2 points. 1 point about what you were saying. Some paleontologists seem to be somewhat of conmen, not conmen, but a bit sly, because I was listening to a show by Brian Cox and Robin Ince today, another one with actual paleontologists,
Right.
and they were saying that they managed to buy off of Facebook a bloke that was selling some bones. He didn't know what they were. He thought they were some other thing, and they bought them for I think it was a very low amount of money, and they were worth millions. and they're bragging about it, mate, on the radio, and that just fucking. It seemed like, I know you would brag about it, but these people are supposed to be experts in the field and reputable, and they're like, yeah, we conned this guy, right? He was just a member of the public that thought he'd found some fucking cool T-Rex rib cages, but really what he'd actually found was from this never before seen creature that we didn't even know what it was. Fucking Dave got to name it, didn't you? Yeah, what did you call it? I'll call it the fucking Davidsaurus.
If he gave a price, if that bloke gave a price and they paid that price, then there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
but name it after that guy who found it. The guy that actually found it. Do you know what I mean? Like fucking a little nod.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little nod. But it didn't seem to get that.
Who's to say that his name isn't on a plaque somewhere with that dinosaur?
Oh, maybe that'd be pretty cool if it was. I wasn't paying enough attention to find out if that's the case, or they didn't say.
But Sly suggested like they're all out stabbing each other's backs all the time. They're like, well, but that's true.
Well, the
like,
plant
you're
people
actually right.
used to.
No, you're right. And one of the things I was going to talk about when you said that everyone buys into the same theory and promotes the same theory, they don't, and they actually promote contradicting like schools of thought, because conflict creates like progression. So if you're arguing over whose point's right, you're more likely to be out in the field trying to prove your point, and then even if you can't, you're discovering new things, and you're like it's progressing it's progressing the science. But they like sabotage happens. There was it's like there's been notable times when paleontologists have sabotaged each other's dig sites and shit like that, and fucked with each other's findings, like because they've wanted to have their time in the spotlight. So like it genuinely
concrete in at night time and
just going to fill it all in.
Yeah.
Oh, we found this great site, and then your rival goes and locks it off. Right, gonna go and get me some fucking quick mix. Let's get this all flattened down.
Just fucking sprinkling lime in there, playing the long game.
But yeah, they are sly. Some of them are sly in that regard. That's not disputed.
We can tie it into another conspiracy before we get onto aliens, because it brings us onto aliens quite nicely.
It's like we fucking think as a one.
It's almost like we've written it, guys, but I fucking promise you we haven't. Imagine if someone could fucking write this. Jesus, it'd be incredible, and to be able to go so like immediately after each other, it'd be amazing. But neither of us are that good. They found dinosaur bones on the moon about 6-7 months ago.
Well, they did it on South Park first.
I didn't know that, but
it's a whale.
News articles. No, yeah, it's Free Willicks, and that's for me that's the best 15 seconds of television there. The end credit scene of just a dead whale on the moon.
On the moon.
The first 3 or 4 times I saw that, my eyes streamed me.
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And it's just silent because it's on the moon, and it's fucking amazing. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen on TV. I've been watching, honestly, I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson on Netflix, which is fucking hilarious, but in a really weird way.
Not as funny as the moment in Kung Fury when he asks, where am I? What time is it? And he goes, the Viking Age, and he goes, that explains the Velociraptors. Honestly, blows it out of the water. Continue.
Well, yeah, the dinosaur bones on the moon, that could be another way for the those in charge, the people that makes money by selling these news stories and such, which seem to be the same people that are big behind the dinosaurs and the anti-religious people and stuff, because it is basically religion versus science, which is something I always end up on. I try to get away from, but I'm always there. But that ties in the idea that, yes, people have gone to the moon. Stop doubting people have gone to the moon. We found dinosaur bones on the moon. Because if you can believe there's dinosaur bones on the moon, then you have to believe that people have been on the moon. So it kills that conspiracy there dead.
Yeah, that's a good... It's almost like pulling a check in chess against the conspiracy theorist, going, right, I've got a conspiracy theory, right?
Yeah.
And if you're a true conspiracist, you're gonna want to buy into it, but it's gonna ruin all your conspiracy theories at the same time. So how much of a devoted member are you? Sort of tests their will. It's like you got people on the internet just being like,
faith.
It's against the mainstream, so I want to buy into it, but it also destroys everything else I buy into because it's against the mainstream. What do I do?
Because it means there was an intergalactic war, but it means there's no dome or hollow Earth, because that would be ruptured if there was an intergalactic war with nuclear missiles and cannonballs.
It can't be flat. Shit. I like it. I like that's what I'd like my contribution to the conspiracy world to be. A theory that makes conspiracy theorists want to buy into it so much, but at the same time it literally destroys every other like theory that they believe in. All of them.
You've only got to change a little bit here and there for that to work. Really. And then get a thing behind it. Give people like a reason, like a heartfelt reason to believe it.
It's got to be something massive that's different to everything else, but also involved, because that's the way to sell a conspiracy, is your idea has to be different to all the new ones, but it has to encapsulate little bits of existing ones to make it believable. You know, your audience, like, it's like anything else. Like you read it, you're more likely to like watch certain films or read certain books if they involve things that you know about, because then you can pick up on those little pop culture references and things like that. And so, if you want to sell a conspiracy theory, it's much like anything else. You've got to have something unique, a unique selling point, but you've also got to have little bits of pre-existing knowledge involved in there, so people are like, oh right, this follows the conspiracy theory pattern, I know what I'm doing. There's reptilian people blinking sideways, there's fucking stripes in the air, oh, they're spraying gas on everyone, oh, the Jews own all the money? Yeah, they always own all the money. And then all that combines, but your idea is something completely different.
Like, we are inside the hollow earth. Like, just just a little change like that. You can keep everything else the same then. And then what's going on there with the big sort of the cartels, the banking cartels and things like that, and all the other big powerful people, they're trying to become the king. I think it's called the God King of Agartha. I think it was, or the Gold King of Agartha. They're trying to become that to rule the Hollow Earth in order to be able to then go above land, above the Earth, into the actual Earth. Well, I imagine would probably be Middle Earth, maybe. I don't know what the actual name for above Agartha is. I don't know from that side. We would have to make something up, I guess. We'd have to name it ourselves.
Well, go on then, gives it a name. If we're making the theory,
Squizcold. You go up to Squizcold, and then
too happy.
Too happy.
Sounds too.
Yeah, but you want to encourage people. You want people to buy into it. They want to go to Squizcold.
Sounds too Terry Pratchett for me.
Oh, okay. It's always going to be like a nonsensical word, though. I can't think of anything as good as Agartha, because that sounds like mythical, doesn't it? Whereas, fucking...
Yeah. I mean,
11
a reef.
11 a reef.
Yeah. There's always that person.
Because outside of it, you've got that vast expanse of space, and we are but a reef in space. The 11th reef. 11 a reef.
No. It's based on the... If you'll know these people, people who brag a lot and who always say that things are better than everyone else. You say, oh, I've been to Tenerife, he's been to 11 a reef.
Oh, okay.
So 11 a reef, because that's better than the place where you're at, isn't it?
I guess. No, I don't. I think it's too cheap of a name, though, and it's too not big. It's too big for a shirt as well. That's another side of the conspiracy.
Squizcold a reef.
That's even fucking worse. Crander.
Yeah, fantastic. Let's go for it.
They are spelled with a Q as well to make it seem a little bit quirky, and it ties in Q.
I've got a theory on dinosaurs.
Go on. This is the show for it.
It rejects. Fuck off. It rejects your theory that they're all fake. I've got sort of proof.
And that's all we've got time for, guys. We've hit the 8 o'clock mark.
I've sort of got there's living proof of my point. I think dinosaurs were a cult.
A cult?
Yep, I think they existed.
They all killed themselves.
I think they existed. I think that they've followed. Well, actually, I think a human cult has followed a very similar pattern much more recently, and I'm talking like 66 million years more recently than the dinosaurs did it. And are you familiar? Well, I mean, you've got to be familiar with the comet-loving, Nike-wearing Heaven's Gate posse. You know, that little rap group from around the way.
We're aware of them. We've covered them a few
We've
times.
mentioned them before.
They're regulars. See how it all ties together, guys. Isn't it incredible? It's all linked. It's all connected.
They're regulars on this show. They are. I mean, lovely lads. I'd love to have them round. In fact, if we could reach out, if you or any of your family members, friends, or the people on your street who never seem to come in or out of their house, but you always see them just in the front room, and
they're going for a run.
They've not changed those net curtains for about 30 years, and they've driven the same Rover 25 for about 17, 18 years. Don't talk to anyone, just go in and out, and then you don't know what they're doing. They could be part of Heaven's Gate. We want to talk to them. Please let us know. We'll give you some sort of... I'll get a burner phone. We'll have to get a burner phone for this show, and we can have people just text guests in.
I would love to have call-ins,
yep.
mate. That's my dream. I'd love a call-in radio show. I really would.
I'd really like to do that. That's something we might have to include this in future shows. But I think Heaven's Gate crew copied dinosaurs. Here is out. Dinosaurs all killed themselves, but much like Heaven's Gate did, they were like, look, we need to leave behind a few spies, a few people on the inside just to make sure that the message of Heaven's Gate is carried on. And that's why we've got crocodiles, alligators. It's my only explanation.
You're very close. You're very close. It's actually why we've got chickens, and that's why they're called a chicken. Because they didn't mean to leave them behind. These were the dinosaurs that watched everybody else do it and then went, oh, not for me.
Nah, I'm going with I mean, I'll include chickens in the crew, but I have no other explanation for why crocodiles and alligators exist. I've been pondering it today. Maybe there were legitimate, logical, very scientologically backed reasons that I could have found on Google or YouTube. But I chose not to, and I chose to go with my pre-existing knowledge of things that are conspiratorial, and when it's got to be Heaven's Gate, like, they've left those block behind to be like, we are dinosaurs, we're here to monitor. It's why they just lay about all the time. Chickens too active, too amongst it, too I want to be the star of the show. Alligator,
exactly, they're
crocodile.
acting the big one.
Yeah, that's not Heaven's Gate.
They don't like the fact that they looked on by all the crocodiles and alligators and gars as the ones that you never quite did it, did you? You couldn't do it. You couldn't have ate 50 paracetamol in 10 minutes, could you?
What a silly way to fucking... Is that how... They didn't do paracetamol?
No.
They shot it. They shot...
It's like 40p a box. It'd be way too expensive. They just crushed up some, I want to say phenobarbital, which I don't think it was.
Weren't they shot? Weren't quite a few of them shot?
No, I don't think they'd been shot. That was part of Jonestown where a lot of them had been shot.
No. There's something involved in Heaven's
bullet
Gate.
holes in them.
No, there's something... I don't know if it's the people who administered the doses then shot themselves, but someone...
Oh, maybe at the end.
Heaven's Gate shot.
Imagine, that'd be one hell of a shot to have at a bar. I'll have the Heaven's Gate.
What's that full of? Redemption. It's full of redemption and fentanyl.
You drink this and you think you'll wake up on a comet in 10 years' time. Just as an ethereal being.
Yeah, right. So, most of them were killed with phenobarbital or alcohol and hydrocodone. Oh, what a fucking mixture. But there were people who shot themselves. I don't know if it was the ones who administered it or if it was... what did Marshall Applewhite do, the leader? How did he go? He killed himself, but how did he die? How did he fucking die?
Crying because he didn't have his testicles anymore, I would imagine.
Yeah, what a fucking... Honestly, man, like, cults to a degree, you're like, do you know what, I'll buy into this. Little bit of benefit from it. Oh, you're allowed to shag anyone. That's sound. Oh, we're all...
But they weren't in this.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
It was an anti-sex cult, wasn't it? They were very much against it.
The only people shagging in a sex
Bowen
cult...
died, or Peep died, or whatever she was called, the lady who was in charge of it, the psychiatrist.
The only people shagging in a cult are the people leading the cult.
Marshall wasn't, though. He had his genitalia removed.
It doesn't mean you can't shag. It just means you can't fucking boss a nut.
I thought he had his dick cut off, though, didn't he? You know. I'm sure he went the whole Ken doll.
Oh.
I think. And it wasn't so much his idea either. It was the people beneath him they wanted him to feel better. They're like, why don't you whip it off?
Why don't you chop your dick off? Why don't you chop your dick off? We don't believe you.
We don't believe you. You used to be mental. You used to be a right laugh.
We don't believe you.
Grieving.
Yeah, look, the only way we are willing to follow. Look, if we're gonna kill ourselves over this shit, you have to at least prove to us you believe in this shit. Chop the dick off. That's the only way. I will top myself if you chop the top. Get that off with its head. Let the snake see the guillotine, as Paddy McGuinness would say. I don't know what else I've got on Velociraptors. The feathers and laser eyes. I've got the dinosaurs could have died out for being cannibals. That's a boring one. Not much to go down there, to be honest.
Makes sense as cannibals, though. If you call them all dinosaurs and they all ate other dinosaurs, then in a semantic way, they are all cannibals.
Lot of
it's a boring
herbivores.
one, isn't it? To be like,
yeah,
died out because
very boring.
There was just one fat one left at the end.
Here's some ones that didn't make the cut. Then let's go through them.
Maybe
Reasons.
Nessie.
reasons: faulty eggs, too thin or too thick. Some of them too thin, so the
Took too
dinosaurs
long to hatch. I've read that before.
couldn't
as well.
hatch. More like couldn't hatch and couldn't breathe, so they died before they were even born. Or too thin, so the eggs didn't provide any protection, and they hatched way too early and just couldn't survive.
Have you ever broken an egg open that's got a chick that didn't form properly in it, that's died inside?
Yeah.
It stinks, mate. It's one of the worst smells. I can't remember and imagine many smells, but I can bring that back.
Yeah,
It makes me feel ill.
It's a horrible smell, and it fucking ruins a breakfast. It
I've
doesn't
never had it for a breakfast.
just doesn't
I used
fry.
to hatch out chicken eggs.
Doesn't fry up the same as a normal egg, and it doesn't. It's crunchy.
The toes ruin it, don't they?
Don't recommend it. Supernova, and a supernova from a star that could have caused, obviously, like.
Oh, that could be from our second sun.
Yeah.
That's
why
why we
not?
now only have one.
Why not? We actually have
And
two.
why everything used to be bigger
sun.
because there was fucking more sunlight coming, more photosynthesis, bigger trees, which meant the herbivores could eat more, which meant they were bigger, which meant the carnivores could eat more, so they were bigger. Then the sun blew up and destroyed itself, became a black hole, and then sucked Xenu's spacecraft. Well, that's how Xenu got here, possibly through this black hole, his little wormhole. He's like, yeah, here we go. Drop these lads off. Drop off the kids at the pools, and fucking off we go back again. And we'll wait till the other sun explodes to come back here and collect all the fucking weird ape men that we've produced.
Sound, we've ticked that one off. Next one, pandemic. Possible pandemic, coronavirus outbreak of the dinosaur variety. Killed them all off. That's boring, although it's quite funny to think of a lot of dinosaurs sneezing. That's just for this show especially, that's usually quite dark and a little bit twisted. That is quite
cute.
A little innocent point to go, a velociraptor just going, achoo, whilst being fluffy and covered in feathers. And I mean, honestly,
themselves, like they just fucking. They can't know it's coming out of both ends. Imagine that, mate. Seeing it's like a dinosaur or something holding onto like a tree branch, like it's hung over, just gripping it with one arm. Its tiny arms, and its head's fucking, and its neck and shoulder are all thrust up against the tree trunk, and it's trying to throw up over this branch. But because of the way it's built, it's trying to steady itself with its right hand and try and throw up, but it can't. So it's just throwing upwards and just filling its mouth and throat with it, and that's how they all died, bro. They all choked on their own vomit.
Death by hangover. Eating fermented berries, fermented fruits on the tops of trees. Should never have done it.
Stegosaurus.
Should have stayed with the short neck. That doesn't bode well for giraffes. We know how giraffes are going to go. Just eating them fermented berries.
The longest surviving species of any horse.
What, the giraffe?
Yeah.
I didn't actually know it was related to the horse family.
Yeah, man. The longest one. Fucking.
That on this show is genuinely the only thing I've learned.
Well, you get to like 3 meters, isn't it?
Nothing to do with dinosaurs. No, it's not that. It's that I didn't know they were part of the horse family.
Neither do I.
All right, fantastic. So we've completely made
it. Just looked like one, though. They seem horsey.
Yeah, but the way you said it, like it was so. People can't see this, but I can usually see when you're saying something that isn't true, and that just came across as like, yeah, it's tallest member of the horse family, you know. Just there's only a few steps between.
Surviving member of the horse family.
Yeah, sorry, but also the tallest member of the horse family. I'm guessing. Tell me another fucking bit. Tell me another animal that's a member of the horse family that's taller than a giraffe.
We all died out, didn't they? The giraffe's the only one left.
Jurassic Park, good idea.
Trick questions, guys.
Would you have Jurassic Park now if you could or not?
Definitely.
Jeff Goldblum is still about to save us if shit goes up. Goes wrong.
I'd go there anyway. You wouldn't. To see creatures that have been made by fucking splicing the blood from a fucking mosquito and injected into a frog, forced to exist, fucking get about and look at them. Of course I would go.
Yeah, I'd go, but I don't know if I'd go.
I would become an ultimate criminal, mate. If they made it the most expensive thing in the world, I would be the best criminal at something in order to make that money so that I could just go there and fucking throw a rock at a dinosaur.
Yeah, I mean, I'd want it to be more of like a hunting scenario. It's not Jurassic Park like a theme park where you can go and see the exhibits. It's like, do you want to go and hunt this animal that could definitely kill you and everyone else you hunt? Because let's be honest, when people go hunting, they hunt deer, they hunt
lions,
rabbits, they hunt. Well, yeah, some people do poach lions, but they're still there in no jeopardy. That's what they like to call it, as a way to pretend that they're not just massacring fucking beauty lions, but
You can hunt lions though as well. They need to be culled.
um, do they? Not
Not
where I live.
certain parks.
Not where I live. And if you live in
Because the
those
nature
parts,
reserve, so if you end up with fucking 1,000 lions when you're only supposed to have 30, everything's dead, and then the lions aren't going to last much longer either. They'll end up eating themselves like dinosaurs did.
right? Well, I want to shoot dinosaurs. I want to shoot things that can definitely wipe out you and everyone else that you're with. Like, instead of going paintballing, you go dinosauring. Everyone gets given actual weapons. You shoot dinosaurs. I also eat what you kill. Let's be honest. I've tried many meats. I've done meats. I've done lots of meats. Like there's a few I haven't done. Crocodiles, alligators, although we've already said they're dinosaurs too. So I haven't tried dinosaur. I want to taste fucking brontosaurus. That's a massive steak on that. The belly of a brontosaurus. If that's anything, I'm not saying it's
Like a
anything.
football field.
Yeah, imagine fucking in a smoker. That's a 14-day smoke.
What
But
if
at the
that's what
end-
9/11 was then? The time travelers went back, killed a dinosaur, and then tried to smoke some ribs in the fucking Twin Towers.
That is the sort that could be Chernobyl as well. That could have been Chernobyl.
Yeah.
You wanted
See,
they were microwaving it.
Yeah, they went it faster.
Yeah, they wanted to cook it from. Thing is though, maybe, hang on, they were both part. So they were trying to speed up the
They had
process.
to defrost it first.
Well, they did Chernobyl first, microwave it a few minutes, cook the inside, and then 9/11. They've come back to them. It's fucking. They've literally taken the dinosaur out of the microwave to them, and then put it straight in the oven or straight on the grill to sear it, reverse sear on the outside. To us, that was 30, 40 years difference, but to them, seconds. And they've just come out, bang, reverse sear, bang.
Now
and then
I know that some of you are going to be listening to this thinking you have missed a part here because if they've done it in seconds, why would they need to defrost the dinosaur? But obviously,
No, I
time
didn't say
travel's not an
defrost.
exact science. Well, to pop it in the microwave though.
Yeah,
So
you cook it on the inside.
You reckon? I would have thought it'd be to defrost. I was going to suggest, just in case the listeners were doubting us, that maybe they overshot or undershot the time travel thing because it's new technology, and they ended up in the Ice Age very briefly. You know, like, fuck, what am I going to do with this?
Tell you what, mate, run with it. Run with
Well,
it.
that's it. That's it. That was just expanding on your universe, bro.
Fantastic. I would recommend to the viewers not to defrost anything in a microwave. I mean, people do it, but nothing tastes the same afterwards. Defrost your meat just as you would, just leave it out. You know what I mean? I was merely speeding up the process of cooking it in the sun. Yep, unwrapped. If you can,
Cover it with a colander.
next to a pile of dog shit to attract as many flies as possible, because everyone knows that
help
adds.
Heat it up with the vibrations.
Exactly.
Speaking of microwaving dinosaurs, you couldn't microwave a lot of dinosaur bone. Apparently, a lot of T-Rex bones are lined with lead because of where they existed, the places where they lived. For whatever reason, when they've died or as they've calcified, they haven't quite calcified. They've whatever the equivalent is for turning to lead. Lead lined.
That's heavy. That.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, I think it's time to pass over to Chode. I think we've knacked dinosaurs. What's our summary? What have we gained from this?
The best way to cook a dinosaur is raw.
Yeah, that's true. Also, if you want a website made or coding, speak to your local crocodile or alligator, because much like Heaven's Gate they're really good at making websites. So maybe that's what ClickShare. Maybe ClickShare is run by the alligators and crocodiles that were left over from the extinction wipeout times with Xenu and the volcanoes. Xenu and the Volcanoes, by the way, is my next punk band. We'll be coming out. We've got our new album coming out shortly. It's called Squizboard. And next up, it's Chode with the Liberal Paradise. This has been us on Fresh Old FM. See you later.